Are you ready to expand your life and reality? Join us for the next hour with Jamie Bates as she shares life-changing thoughts, techniques, and awarenesses to help you expand your reality.
Hello and welcome. I am Jamie Bates, consciousness facilitator and expander of realities. My mission with my radio show is to create greater awareness of what is possible and to expand you beyond the limitations of this reality. I am grateful that you're joining me today. And today I'm talking about easy ways to raise your vibration and expand your consciousness. As you evolve and awaken, there are many ways that you can continually raise your vibration and expand your consciousness. As you choose different ways, the more and more you do, you will find that you will be shifting and changing, and it gets easier and easier and easier to really truly walk the authentic path of who you be. So today I wanted to talk about some tips to integrate more space of you fast, right? Really truly get into the alignment of who you be by releasing all of this stuff that is weighing you down and constricting your life. So today I'm going to kind of dive into some ways to really truly integrate more space of you fast. So of course, my favorite way to integrate more space of you fast would naturally be to expand, right? And if you've been listening to my radio show for any amount of time or you've done any work with me, you know that expanding is one of my favorite ways to really truly get all the way into who you be as the infinite being that you be. The more you practice expanding, the more space you start taking up, the more space of you is available to you, the less and less you are in the kind of the reactive mode of emotions and others and what's going on around you. The more and more space you become, the more and more you just really truly become kind of that receiver that you truly be, right? Your body is a receiving organ, receiving information from everyone all the time. It's always receiving information. So as you expand, you really truly allow yourself to really become that natural receiver and receive information with ease. So let's get started today by expanding. If you've never expanded before, we are expanding out your being, like your soul, if you will, right? Because you have a body, right? And then you have this energy, space, and consciousness, which is your soul, or um, however you want to explain it. Soul to me kind of gives it a lot of definition. There's kind of a smallness on it, but really truly what you are is when your body dies, you're still energy, your space, and your consciousness, right? And within your energy, space, and consciousness is all of your viewpoints, all of your points of views, everything that you believe to be true, everything that you've decided. It's all stored within this energy, space, and consciousness of who you be. And this energy, space, and consciousness of who you be is like this big huge space, right? Then you have a body, right? And your body is within the energy, space, and consciousness of who you be. It's not the opposite way around. Like it's not your being and then your energy, space, and consciousness is within that. It's actually your energy, space, and consciousness, and then your body is within that. So uh, I like to kind of practice expanding out your being, really getting into more space. The more space you are, the more metapixels, the bigger your molecules become, right? And the bigger your molecules are, like if you take a picture and you make it bigger, like you zoom in on it, right? You make those metapixels really big, and what happens then is, like if we've ever seen someone who is hiding or is willing to do bad or is deceitful, right? They kind of make themselves small, right? And what happens is most contraction, most upset, most, I mean, if you think about anger, if you think about emotional upset, it's really small. And what happens is the more and more you stay expanded, the more and more big you are, a lot of that stuff just passes through you, doesn't get stuck within the metapixels of who you be, and it just really allows you to have more space around situations, people, places, things, pretty much everything, and really allows you to be able to just assimilate energy that's going on around you differently. So, with all that being said, what we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and expand out. So, you don't have to do anything, you don't have to know anything, you don't have to visualize anything in order to expand. All you have to do is just take some nice deep breaths. And let's just go ahead and put our barriers down, our barriers down, our barriers down, our barriers down, and let's go ahead and expand out. And go ahead and make yourself as big as the city that you're in. Go all the way out and all the way down and all the way up. Nice deep breath. And go ahead and expand out as big as let's do the county that you're in. All the way out and all the way down and all the way up. And let's go ahead and make yourself as big as the state that you're in or province that you're in. All the way out and all the way down and all the way up. And go ahead and expand out as big as the country that you're in, all the way out and all the way down and all the way up. And go ahead and expand out as big as the planet that you're on. Bigger, faster, bigger, faster, bigger, faster, bigger, faster. I guess the planet that we're all on, right? Maybe. Maybe we're all listening from planet Earth. Let's go ahead and go as big as the planet all the way through, all the way through. Becoming one with everyone and everything in the universe. And the multiverse, multiple universes. Yeah. And times that by million, times that by million, times that by million, times that by million, all the way out to the space of who you be as the infinite being that you be. Awesome. And just take some nice deep breaths in this space. Yeah. So today, kind of swimming in this space of who we be, I'm going to talk about some tips to integrate more space of you fast, right? To really raise your vibration, expand your consciousness. So number one, it kind of goes in alignment with what I was just talking about with expanding, right? Is everything that you have ever decided, everything that you have ever played in, everything that you have ever believed in. And I know I've been talking a lot about this. If you've been listening to my show, you've been hearing me talk a lot about this, but really, truly, you guys, this is where big change happens, right? Is when you play in the energy, space, and consciousness of who you be, and you really truly look at the form and structure around the emotional issues that you have, your belief systems, the places and spaces that you have been playing in your life, everything from fear to anger to unworthiness. These are all form and structures within the energy, space, and consciousness of who you be. Okay, and to really truly raise your vibration and expand your consciousness, you can clear these out energetically from your energy, space, and consciousness, and you can truly change your life. When you spend time actively clearing out the form and structure that you have around what you believe in, right? Around uh, uh, your concepts of like I'm just going to take, um, I know I talked a few weeks ago about defense, and I wrote a blog about defense. Maybe I didn't actually do a radio show about defense. I think I might have. I think I did. I don't know. I talk about so many different things in so many different places. I can't remember. But I know somewhere recently I recorded about defense. Okay, now defense is one of those sneaky structures, I feel like, because I don't feel like we will consciously say I'm in defense, right? But defense looks like this place is where you're continually defending your actions, okay? Where maybe you feel like even people are always attacking you, and that maybe you may feel like somebody says something to you and you're always automatically responding. Like maybe somebody says something and you come right back with a mean comment, or just an automatic comment, and you think, oh gosh, why did I say that? I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to be mean. I didn't want to do this, whatever. But you can't help yourself from always defending your actions. I see this a lot commonly with when people are stuck in a lot of systems of defense. It's like um, they always go right to excuse, right? Well, I did this because, or this happened because, or and the reality is maybe that's really why you feel like you're acting in that way, but at the core of it is really truly that you're defending something. And when you're defending something, it keeps you looping in the paradigm of defense. And then you always put yourself in situations that you feel like you have to defend yourself against. And I know that it's kind of like it might be hard to make a reference point to what that looks like in your life, but it's it's really kind of a really tangled concept, and it creates just as much upset on the inside as it does on the outside of your life. And when you start really truly diving into the form and structure that you have set up in your uh, energy, space, and consciousness, your life really truly starts to change. And I think the best news about that is you don't have to know, okay, I act this way, and I know I'm doing defense, or I'm doing righteousness, or I'm doing anger, you don't really necessarily have to know. But when you start clearing these concepts out, it really truly starts to change your life. The first thing I would say is, if you're in a place where you feel like you don't like the way that you respond to certain people, you don't like your actions, you feel angry and upset at yourself a lot of times, you feel like life isn't working out for you, you feel like maybe you're a parent and you feel like you're not really able to connect well with your kids. If you just feel like you're in a lot of upset about the way that your life is showing up, uh, that really truly is, first and foremost, lets me know that the first thing that you really need to start doing is you need to start actively diving in and clearing away the form and structure that you have in your energy, space, and consciousness, so you can really truly have new spaces show up in your life. Barry is talking to us today. He has a lot to say. So with that being said, obviously you know that I have lots of ways to do this, but there is really truly lots of different ways that you can clear out these form and structures, these old energies, these old constructs. You don't have to necessarily use my stuff. I know that there's other ways to do it, or you can do it yourself, but I always do suggest that if you're feeling those ways in your life, first and foremost, go to my website, jamie-bates.com, and sign up for my monthly playground, the Consciousness on Demand. Consciousness on Demand has so many audios in there, really truly to help you release that form and structure. This month we are doing healing trauma, and this last week I just did recognizing trauma response. And I was really talking about how we over process trauma and how we store that trauma energy within our energy, space, and consciousness, right? And then uh, inadvertently, we continue to kind of reperpetrate that same trauma energy over and over and over on our system, and we can't release it. And so we're doing some clearings all around trauma this month and really truly allowing you to release those trauma-based energies within the energy, space, and consciousness of who you be, so you can move on, so you can um, uh, do something different. Next week, we're actually going to be talking about clearing out the receptors. And the receptors of trauma are these places where it's like you hold space, where you stored all that old trauma, right? Whatever it was that happened to you. And what that does is it continually kind of holds space for that same thing to happen over and over and over. So you can actually join my Consciousness on Demand right now, and you can go through those healing trauma. But there's really so much more than just that. I mean, there is, I want to say, at least 100 hours of audios clearing out the form and structure around so many different things, from anger, rage, to, unworthiness, to there's just tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of clearing out audios to really truly give you that more space. When you spend time actively clearing, it really truly kind of shifts and changes who you be energetically, and that changes your life. So on that same note, the number 2 thing I wanted to talk about today was really clearing out your contracts, your oaths, your vows, your commitments. Most of us have been here a lifetime after lifetime. Okay. Most of us have been here, I would wager to say, more than 100 times. And what happens is every single time you're here, right, and you make a oath or a vow or a contract or a commitment or even a pinky promise, okay, I promise to do this, and then something happens and you aren't able to follow through with that promise, then you actually have that stored, right? That's like, that becomes a karmic debt, right? We've all heard about karmic debt before, right? So all of that, those old contracts, oaths, vows, those are all old, like, karmic debt stuff. And what happens is you carry on that karmic debt lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, because the thing is your body may have made those agreements, but your body dies and your soul doesn't, right? So you're still carrying your soul around with you, your energy, space, and consciousness. So all of these contracts, oaths, vows, commitments, all this debt is within the energy, space, and consciousness of who you be. And a lot of that debt can really be, weighing you down. And when you take some time to really truly release yourself from that karmic debt, you uh, you change your whole life, because who knows how much space you are holding on to, how much space you are leaving open for the repayment of these debts, or for the people that maybe you said, I promise I'll never leave you, and then you both died, right? Well, obviously, you left each other, and then you came back in a different lifetime, and maybe one of you is in the USA living and the other person is in, I don't know, Canada living, and you're holding space for this person and you're yearning for this person because you promised this person that you would never leave them, and they promised you the same, and now you're apart and your soul is just aching and hurting, and you don't know how to move on. And what happens is, when you clear out those old contracts, oaths, agreements, commitments, all of those things, um, you actually truly get to, because the thing is your energy, space, and consciousness, right? You're an infinite being. And if those oaths, vows, commitments, all of those things are stored within you, right? And then you actually pull those up and say, everything, all of those are, I choose to remove them. And you actively choose, because you are an infinite being and you get to decide what's going on within your energy, space, and consciousness. When you actively choose to remove those, you can remove those. And what happens is, now all of that space you've been holding for maybe someone who said they would come back, or people that you married and vowed till death do you part, and you have maybe hundreds of people that you vowed till death do you part, and then your body's died, right? And you're not even in the same area anymore, and you're still holding space for them to show back up, right? I mean, that really truly can put a real big uh, upset in your life. You can feel empty, you can feel lonely, you can feel like you're missing a part or piece of you that you haven't been able to find. And although those people may still be around, or even I know sometimes people think, well, I don't want to clear that because I want them to come back into my life. Well, the thing is like, when you clear that, you release the feeling. That doesn't mean that they still can't come back into your life, right? It's not like you are cutting off all ties completely. What you're doing is you're releasing yourself from the debt of it, so you can move on, and you can, again, like, raise your vibration, right? So you're no longer holding on to those heavy attachments of people that may not be able to even align with you anymore, who may not even, you may not even be able to connect with this lifetime. Maybe you live on opposite ends of the world, right? And here you are holding space for these people, and there's really going to be no connection this lifetime, except maybe that spiritual connection that you've had in the past. So when you get in and you clear out all of this karmic debt, all of these oaths, vows, commitments, all of that, you literally change your life. And again, like, you can do that as well. In my playground, I have all kinds of clearings for clearing out all of this stuff to really totally truly change your life. um, Next, I want to just talk about finding someone to help you, guide you through your stuff. You know, um, if you are really truly ready to raise your vibration and expand your consciousness, find someone to help you. Okay, because the reality is it's really truly hard to see your own stuff, you guys. It really is, because it's ours and we're attached to it. We have reference points to it and decision points to when we decided it was real and true, right? We have all of these different ideas. And the thing is, if you find someone who can really truly help you dive in and change these things, find someone who doesn't have a point of view about your crap. This isn't like, oh, I'm going to have my best friend sit down and me and my best friend are going to talk about this. No, this is somebody who is unbiased. This is somebody out, and really, I suggest that you find someone like me. Not necessarily like you have to find someone exactly like me, but someone who does something similar to what I do, okay? Um, to really truly help you, when I take on a new client, and these are generally people I don't know from anywhere, right? And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at, where are the decisions that they made, especially starting from this lifetime at a very young age, because that is shadowing a lot of what's going on in their life, but it also is very vindictive of the patterns that they've chose lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Okay, so we're going to dive into the first energies that I'm aware of. And I'll tell you, it's, people don't even realize how deep these energy patterns go. The decisions that you made when you were really young about your parents and about your family and about how life is, and about and again, it's not just like, I don't ever feel like these are just random decisions. These are generally programmed responses from other lifetimes, right? And all of a sudden, they really truly start creating how your life shows up. So find someone, And if that's not me, like, that's fine. I'm just suggesting that you find someone that you align with, that really truly can help you look at your stuff. I call myself a coach, a consciousness coach, and but there's facilitators, there's other coaches, there's so many people in this world. I do this work, and I also actually have facilitators that I can suggest. I'm building a facilitators page currently of facilitators that I do recommend, throughout my network of people that can really truly help you dive in and look at what it is that is stopping you. What energetic patterns are you perpetually looping in that is really truly taking you out of being present in your life and putting you on that same path that you don't want to live anymore? It helps to have a consciousness guide to take you through the patterning and help you energetically shift them. So you can have these big, huge aha moments of, oh my gosh, this is why I'm doing this. It totally makes sense. And I'm ready to release it. Because the thing is about your patterning and this is what I do. And I think it's so important is I hold space. Okay. I'm going to talk to you about the energetic patterns that I can see are present. And then what I do is I hold that space. And what that allows is it starts to untangle these different areas of your life. And people come to me and say, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that, this pattern created this, that created this, that created this, right? And it totally and completely just shifts and changes your whole life. So if you find someone to help you, it really truly changes everything. And today I kind of just wanted to share, I have a client who I have been working with. um, we have been really truly untangling a lot of her anger, a lot of the anger that is um, going on inside. And she sent me a message over the weekend, and she was talking about how normally when she would express anger, she would want the other person to understand and agree about her anger, right? And if it didn't happen, if they didn't agree with the way that she was feeling, she would judge herself, or maybe not handling the situation well, or judge herself for not understanding, or judge them for not understanding, and that they would have to kind of reach this mutual agreement about why she was upset. And what she was finding was, like, she finally had this like total breakthrough moment of getting the pattern, right? And she understood that it's okay, like she can be angry, sorry, or the other person can be angry without having to explain, or just be able to feel and receive and like shift and change and move through the energy without number one, making herself wrong, or number two, making the other person wrong. And it's like breakthrough moments like that really truly change your life. And so when you have someone to kind of guide you through and go, okay, these are the energies that I'm aware of that are present, and this is, I'm going to hold space for that, I'm going to untangle some of it, I'm going to clear some of it out. It really truly allows you to have those aha moments. And when you have those aha moments, when you can really truly see, okay, this is where I have been functioning at in the past, and this doesn't actually work for me anymore, and I don't want to function in that place any longer, and I want to understand, like, there's a certain level of understanding that comes from within your patterning, that when you can really truly see it and you get it and you have that kind of that amazing uh, moment of like, ah, I get it, I can feel it, I see it, I see where I've been doing that. All of a sudden you can let go of the patterning and you can move on with your life. And there's really truly nothing more freeing than going through the patternings in your life like that. And taking out a lot of that form and structure, for me, has a lot to do with that, because as you kind of dissipate that form and structure, it's like taking down all those walls that you've built based on the decisions that you have about life. And when you take those walls down and you just start having these massive aha moments and these awarenesses of what is going on, it's it's literally life altering, life shattering differences. I mean, I just can't even explain to people enough how much changes you when you have someone to kind of guide you through these moments of amazing ahas. So um, if you can find someone, whether it's uh, a therapist or just a consciousness guide or facilitator, coach, whatever, someone that you really truly align with to really truly help you dig in and look at your patterns. And the thing about this is, and I think this is probably one of the most important parts about all of this is when you find someone to do this for yourself, you don't only change yourself, you change your whole family. Like when I did this for myself, when I dove in and started working with someone and having someone help me expand these areas of my life where I had all this sadness and confusion and pain and frustration and anger, and we really dove in and changed it. Not only did it change me, but it changed my whole family. And the more I did this work and the longer I committed to shifting and changing for myself, the more and more I changed for my children, for my, family, for, I can't even tell you, the relationship between me and everyone in my family is completely different. The relationship between me and even my mom, and we haven't even had one conversation about it, but the relationship that I have even with her has completely changed, because the thing is I changed myself. I changed the reflection of what I seen about me. I changed the reflection of the points of views that I had about her within me. I changed myself. And when I changed myself, that rippled out and it changed everyone around me. It changed my vibration. It raised uh, my vibration. It expanded out my consciousness, and it changed my life. So I'm pretty passionate about that, about really truly finding someone to help you really truly get through your stuff. Yeah, so on that note, the next thing I really would suggest to really help you raise your consciousness is to get a healing attunement. This can really truly speed up your healing cycle and give you more room to heal. There's tons and tons and tons of people. There's tons of attunements that you can receive. I do a healing attunement. Uh, it's basically kind of where you open up the energetic lines and you implant some healing symbols, signs, um, and it really truly kind of changes the way that your alignment is, which is again allows you to kind of release a lot of those negative attachments and change your life. And the other thing around the healing attunement, if you haven't had your Reiki attunement, learn how to be a healer. That really, truly, when you learn how to do healing, and Reiki's obviously not the only kind of healing. There's tons and tons. I mean, there's a million different uh, attunements out there. There's a million different healing processes out there, right? When you learn how to really truly be a healer, the more you study about healing, you raise your vibration, you expand your consciousness. Reiki attunement is a great way as well. If you aren't already Reiki attuned, I do suggest getting a Reiki attunement ASAP. When you receive a Reiki attunement, it changes your energetic alignment. I've been talking a lot about how the planet is on a different energetic alignment now since 2012, right? When we had that shift and the planetary alignment changed, It's kind of the same way when you get a Reiki attunement. It's like your energetic alignment shifts, right? You turn on that Reiki energy in your body, that flow of Reiki energy, and it's like you change the channel on the radio, right? And each time you receive a Reiki attunement, you release energetic ties and cords that may have been weighing you down. And this can have a profound effect on raising your vibration. So really any type of healing attunement that you receive, it doesn't necessarily have to be Reiki. It doesn't have to be even just a generic healing attunement. Any type of energy attunement that you receive, it's going to start delivering that healing energy through your body. And what happens when it starts delivering that healing energy through your body, it helps you to really truly heal your body. You know, I was first Reiki attuned, I don't know, I was a teenager. So I won't even say the year, but it was quite a long time ago. It was probably 25 or so years ago. And um, I remember I remember how tired I was. I had the Reiki attunement. I'm pretty sure like I passed out, like not really, but like I remember I went in the other room and sat down and there was other people in the class and people were getting their attunement, right? And I literally just I just zonked out. It was like it was so strong for me for that first Reiki attunement. It really truly shifted something in my body. And through the years having energy, you know, I do more than just Reiki. I have lots of different healing modalities that I practice. I just say Reiki because I do feel like Reiki is a very, very powerful, profound shift. But through the years, you know, being able to have an energy that I have at my disposal that I can turn on in my hands at any point if I have a headache or if I'm just not feeling good or if I just want to spend some time and space just really being with me, I can pull some energy through my body and I can just allow my hands to deliver this energy into my body anywhere I require it. And it's really, I think because I've had it my whole life, I often forget to talk about it, but it really truly is one of the greatest gifts that you can give yourself. If you don't already have a Reiki attunement, I am currently doing a Reiki class online. I've been teaching Reiki about 15 years now, around there. And I will tell you that Reiki is a life-changing modality. So I do have a Reiki coming up. It's called Reiki for Conscious People. You can find out more information on my website online. But it is coming up here pretty soon. Today is November 6th. The Reiki is coming up. I think it's on November 10th. So it's this coming up this weekend. There's a Reiki one. We're just doing it online. So you can join us from anywhere in the world. And basically, you can just join us conference call and we're doing Reiki 1. We're going to talk about the basics of Reiki. Okay, we're going to give each and every person on the call a healing attunement. I'm going to kind of tap into what is required for you and your body, give you a healing attunement first. And we're going to basically talk about, you know, what is Reiki, what happens when the Reiki is turned on in your body, kind of a little bit of the history of Reiki. I don't personally get into a lot of the rituals around Reiki because I feel like the ritual is kind of uh, constricted a little bit. So we're going to stay in lots of space. We're going to do this. That's why I call it Reiki for Conscious People. I'm just going to share with you kind of how I view Reiki, what Reiki is to me, and we're going to talk a lot about healing and about using this energy in our lives, and then you're going to get your Reiki attunement, and then I'm going to have a Reiki 2 class about a month after, so you can join the Reiki 2 class as well. Now in Reiki 2, what I do is I do the attunement, I teach you the symbols, but also I'm going to teach you some additional energy exercises to kind of supercharge your Reiki. So You can take Reiki 1 and you could take Reiki 2, or if you've already taken Reiki 1 and you just want to take Reiki 2, you can do that as well. Or if you've already taken both and you just would like to take a class with me, you can do that as well. Every single time you receive a Reiki attunement, it does continue to kind of become stronger and stronger and integrate more and more. And I feel like each person has kind of a different energy as well. So when you receive attunements from different people, it does kind of open you up to a different channel of healing as well. So that is this weekend. If you're interested in joining us, you can go to Jamie, Jamie Bates.com and find the Reiki class on there as well and sign up. It's $75 for Reiki 1 and $125 for both. So with all that being said, really Reiki has a profound effect on really truly raising your vibration. So it's a great thing to have in your toolbox. The next thing I wanted to talk about today is learning how to receive. Learn to receive from everyone and everything. Really, receiving is key to learning a new way to be. When you learn how to receive, you release your resistance to others, which allows you to become one with everyone in everything. You know, I talk a lot about resistance, right? And when you learn to be the receiver, when you really truly get that your body is a receiving organ, it's receiving information from everyone and everything all of the time. And the less charge you have to what is going on around you, the more and more consciousness you bring into your body, understanding that everything happens for a reason. uh, you just become this channel where you have more choice in your body to choose what you would like to choose, and you really truly no longer become the effect of everyone and everything around you. So receiving is just a really powerful way to continue to raise your vibration and expand your consciousness. Uh, what was it? I guess I did 2000, maybe 16, and then again 2018. I did a whole series where every month for 12 months we did we focused around receiving from different things. Like one month we received from ourselves, right? So we took old experiences, old visions of who we used to be, and we pulled energy from, behind through the space in between and received that into our body and being. It's really amazing to me how much you will store about who you think you are, um, who the past reflection of who you decided you were. Maybe you decided that, 10 years ago you did something that was really terrible, and you have that stored there, and you see that reflection of yourself often. We just went through and we kind of just allowed ourselves to really truly receive from ourselves, and just that alone is life changing. If you can receive from you, if you can receive from, your childhood, your past experiences, these places and spaces where you have decided different things about yourself, if you can receive beyond that, it's life changing. So we spent a whole year in these different concepts. We received from ourselves, we received from different family members, we received from strangers, we received from businesses and entities. And I mean, we kind of went through the gamut of receiving. Okay. And what people discovered is really truly, number one, what they have stored there about, like, strangers. Let's take for instance, right? I mean, we have a lot of resistance to strangers, right? And that's all based on all of the points of views about what people say about strangers and about staying safe, and yeah, so on and so forth. Well, what that does is, when you have resistance to strangers, then um, you're actually kind of locking in all of those energies all around your energy space and consciousness, and you're invoking certain things in your life. When you learn to receive from everyone and everything, you understand that really truly we're all one. There really isn't a whole lot of division. Is there people that choose things that you wouldn't choose? Absolutely. Is there people who do things, who who do even evil things, absolutely positively. But you don't want to resist them. You don't want to block them out. You want to be able to see them, feel them, perceive them, know when they're around, so you can make different choices when they're around you, not protect yourself from them, because the protection isn't actually going to stop them from doing something to you. But the concept of being able to like really truly see them, feel them, know that they're around, actually truly gives you the space to be able to not only call them out, right? Like, I can see you, I can feel you, I know you're here. You have no power, no control over me, you can't hurt me, right? Because the last thing someone who wants to hurt you um, wants to do, like, they want to be incognito, they want you to be in fear, they want you to be scared of them, they want you to be resisting them, they don't want you to be really truly seeing them. And when you're in that space where you can really truly see them, that's when they turn and leave, right? That's when they really truly most people who are willing to do bad things, if you really truly call them out, especially energetically, and go, I see you, I know what you're capable of doing, they're not going to bother you. They're not looking for someone who's going to challenge them. They're looking for someone who is protecting themselves from them, who can't see them. Okay, so learning to receive from everyone and everything really truly releases you from being the effect of everyone else and everything. It really truly allows you to release the old patterns of upset and guilt that you have with yourself, or that you have with others. That truly expands your consciousness, and really truly raises uh, your vibration by giving you the space to not have that upset, right? I mean, I just can't even believe going through my own awakening, going through my own shifting and changing. I just couldn't believe how many points of views I had about who I thought I was. Based on other people's reflections, based on other people's judgments, based on other people's, points of views. And when you really truly learn how to receive that, especially even at this stage in the game, if you understand that, if you can receive other people's points of views about who you are, instead of like going into resistance of them and then storing that energy as real and true, changes everything. So when you learn to receive, you change everything. The next thing I wanted to talk about is really getting body work done. Seek out local alternative therapy healers and really truly get your body work done. And that is everyone from Reiki healers to, uh, chiropractors to, anybody really truly in the alternative therapy realm who can help you dive in and really look at what's going on for me and what's it going to take for me to really truly shift and change this, uh, so I can move on with my life, right? So I can raise my vibration and expand my consciousness and really truly heal and move on. I am sure no matter where you live in this world anymore, there are plenty of local alternative therapy healers that you can get your body work done with, whether it's a massage therapist or a healer or a sound healer or a chiropractor. The list is endless, really. There's a million different ways to get your body cared for. And lastly, I wanted to say, give yourself permission to heal, release, and move on. Sometimes you really need to verbally give yourself permission to heal. Yeah, just feel that for a moment. Have you ever given yourself permission to heal? Have you ever given yourself permission to really truly move on with your life? The past is the past. Allow yourself to release the upset of your past choices. Release the constant need to fix yourself or others. Release the need to control things. Know that you've done the best that you can with what you knew at the time. Moving on and moving forward with your life requires a certain amount of surrender of resistance and wrongness. It's really time that we start actively choosing to elevate and expand our life. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of give you some space here. Let's just give ourselves a little bit more space, a little bit more space. You know, if there's one thing that I have learned through this journey of raising my vibration, expanding my consciousness, awakening to who I be, is it starts with you. It starts with your inner choice to say, you know what, um, I am not happy with the way that my life is showing up. And I'm going to allow myself to move forward and create something different. And in that moving forward and in that creating something different, you have to release the wrongness you feel about who you are, about what you chose last year, or 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, or even yesterday. You know, if the one thing that I can pass on to you today is that you have to give yourself permission and space to be able to heal your life. You have to get out of that cycle of continuously going back to making yourself wrong on a daily basis about everything. I had a conversation the other day with someone that was close to me. I had said I didn't like something, and she went right to defending, why she was doing it and what it meant. And I said, the reality is like I'm allowed to have an opinion without it meaning that it's like a character flaw of you. Like somewhere in this reality, we have decided that other people's opinions mean something deafening about who we are. And the thing is like, if we could all learn that each and every one of us has a unique vibration, each and every one of us has a path that works for them and what doesn't. And you know what works for you might not work for me. And that doesn't mean that what works for you is wrong. That just means that it doesn't work for me, and that's okay. Like we can have those differences without it meaning anything about you. And I feel like so many of us get caught in this process where um, we can't even consider giving ourselves permission to heal, release, and move on because we're so caught up in trying to figure out what's the right way, what's good, what's perfect, what's the best, chasing this energy of always looking outside of ourselves for really, truly what's real and true for us. It's time to actively choose to elevate and expand your own life and get out of what everyone else is doing. It doesn't matter what, Mary next door is doing or, so and so, or this is about each and every one of us creating our own authentic path and really truly following what lights us up. And the thing is when you truly follow what lights you up and what expands your consciousness and what raises your alignment, you'll find the people who align within that. And what you might find is the people around you might come, but you might have to be the first person who goes. Yeah. Take a nice deep breath. So today, I know I've kind of talked about a lot of different things, but I just wanted to kind of expand here on there's lots of different ways. And these are just some of my suggestions, right? We all know that there's lots of other ways to raise your vibration and expand your consciousness. These are just kind of my suggestions. We are kind of starting to kind of run out of time here today, but you can check out everything that I have to offer at www.jamie.bates.com. And you can find my Reiki class on there. You can find my Consciousness on Demand. You can also find my radio archives on there as well now. There is really, truly a lot of different ways that I offer to raise your vibration, expand your consciousness. Plus, I also have space right now for 2 new clients. So if you're looking for someone to help you, guide you on your journey, someone who can come from not having a point of view to really help you expand your life, maybe you want to check out what I have to offer. And soon I will have my my therapy or my suggestions for other alternative therapists who can help you on your journey to raising your vibration and expanding your consciousness. I have really received an outpouring of support recently on my Facebook. You can also join me on Expand Your Reality on Facebook. And I just kind of wanted to say just for a moment here, I recently had my little kiwi bird pass away just this past weekend. So it's been an interesting time for me, and she's been coming to me and she's been giving me more and more information, and I am grateful for each and every one of you for giving me some support. I know if you've been listening to the radio show for a while, you often heard Kiwi kind of chime in. If you've been watching my videos or anything, often she was with me. She definitely was my partner in healing, and we had went on vacation and she passed away while we were gone. So we spent last week in Florida, and when we were in Florida, she actually passed on. And she has let me know that she chose to do that because she knew that it would be really hard if she passed on at home. So I am grateful for every single moment I had with that little sweet soul. She was definitely such a contribution in my life. And I think probably in the next coming weeks, I will be having a show about the contribution of animals and the space of healing that they can provide. I just need a little more time to process through this before I start talking about it, because it's still kind of a painful thing for me to really dive into yet, as it's still kind of fresh for me. So thank you all for your support. I do appreciate each and every one of you, and please send my little kiwi bird a little bit of love and let her know how much she contributed to you, because she is near and she does appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you for listening to me today. Again, you can check out anything I have to offer at Jamie, Jamie-Bates, BATES.com. And I will talk to you all soon. Thank you so much for listening to me today, and have a great day. Bye.
You have been listening to Expand Your Reality with your host, Jamie Bates. Thank you for listening.